Hey, it's George coming at you again today. And just like always, what actions are you taking today to be able to provide the dreams of your future? Because remember, your future is determined by the actions you do today, not what you put off till tomorrow. So, what kind of things are we going to look at today? What kind of actions are we going to try to implement today to make your future? And one of the things we're going to talk about today are the barriers between you and reaching the success and reaching for the dreams that you really want to have come true for yourself. And you know what? It's kind of amazing. Everybody going, especially those going into business, but a lot of times the barriers between you and your success is because you're trying something new. You're trying something different. You're trying something not everybody can understand. And that's where a lot of the barriers come into place. And they're almost the same no matter where we go and what we look at. So let's take a look and identify these barriers so we can start to break them down and be able to, because the only way you can break them down and start to overcome them is by really sitting down and focusing on identifying them and when they come up and being able to put them there and be able to identify and overcome them. If you just allow them to run rampant, really there's not going to be a way to overcome them. They'll just overtake your conscious mind and be able to hold you back and still be a barrier to you reaching your success. So, with that said, you know, you got to realize that the foundation that we're all standing on that creates a lot of these barriers are the excuses and the blames and some old strategies that we're hanging on to. But a lot of the barriers are founded in these things that we allow to consume our mind and allow them to consume our habits. So one of the first barriers we're going to look at is the fear of judgment. A lot of times in order to be able to create better results, in order to be able to create our dreams and be able to create our future, it means we're going to have to do something different. It means we're going to have to change how we do things and how we what we surround ourselves with and how we allocate our time and what we allocate our time to and our behaviors and our actions. And the thing about doing things differently is now you're going to step out of the norm, because there's a reason why everybody refers to them as the one percenters, because they go, oh, we can't get the results of those five, they're part of the one percenters or something like that. It's not because they're 1% because of their achievements. It's 1% because of the different ways they do things, of the different actions they take. So you're consumed by the people around you in the norm. In order to break out of the norm, in order to be able to rise above to the future that you want, you're going to have to break out of that norm. And when you break out of that norm comes fear of judgment, becomes fear of what the peers around you are going to say about it. Whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's spouses, whatever it may be, there's that fear in that, how are they judging me? What are they going to say about it? How are they going to react to me next time when they know I'm doing this one thing? And we got to be able to identify that and be able to maybe change up some things by, I'm not saying you get rid of all your friends and separate yourself from your family, but you start to surround and allocate more time to the people that are instituting those same changes, the people that already have made those changes and are starting to see results. So you start to overcome that fear of judgment because you see what you get reinforced. Your decision to change gets reinforced by those that you see getting the results that you want, because they've taken the actions that you're starting to take. And that'll start to overcome that fear of judgment. Next, a lot of times, is fear and embarrassment, which follows right along with that judgment. That fear that you're going to be embarrassed to tell people about the changes that you're making. Fear that you're going to, the embarrassment that, how are people going to look at you differently? How are people going to think of you differently? And quite honestly, as a whole, we spend too much time thinking and worrying about what other people are thinking of us, that we internalize a lot of that and we start to think it ourselves, when a lot of the times our notion of what they think of us isn't actually what they think of us. That it's only our preconceived notion of what they think of us. And truthfully, honestly, it's not their lives, it's our lives. Be more ingrained in yourself and how you feel about yourself, and less worried about what other people feel of you and what other people consider your actions, and also start to think about, just like in a fear of judgment, start to think about who it is that you're allocating a lot of your time to, and whose judgments and who that you're allowing to infiltrate your thoughts. Are those the ones that are going to push you to become better, or are those the ones that are holding you back into the norm that you are today? So fear of embarrassment, again, very strong, especially in our environment. you know then you got the I'm not qualified. That thought that comes into your head that, what, I'm just not qualified, I don't have the capability of doing that, which is total BS. We're all on the same planet, we're all born with the same innate capabilities. And yes, outside of some physical characteristics, if you want, one person may have a little bit of advantage over another, maybe to be a sprinter or something, to be a high jump because they're taller, or be able to dunk a basket. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about being able to create your future, being able to create your dreams, being able to create it, your potential, and become a reality. And the thing about it is it's less about being qualified, and it's more about getting the resources and surrounding yourself with the resources and allocating the time to those resources that you need to make the changes that you need to make happen, so that you can find your success. So it's not about being qualified. It's about what resources you're allowing yourself to partake in, how in the time that you do. Some of the biggest changes that have come from me is, reading 30 minutes a day, reading books from people that have found their successes that I want to have found the achievements that I want to have. And I surround myself with materials from those people, and I read and I listen to audio, and I constantly do this. I don't allow my time to be distracted by things that don't have any effect on my life, and start to really check what influences that, and be able to build on myself. Because truthfully, the only difference between one person that's not finding their dreams and not finding the results, and that are still just dreaming and letting it be a daydream, and those that are the ones that are taking action to be able to allocate their time to becoming more, to becoming better. I mean, one of the biggest things, biggest fallacies is you're out of school and you have to stop studying. No, that's what school does. School is there to be able to get you in a habit of learning, to get you in the habit of finding resources. That's its true nature. I can't tell you I've ever, I took 2 years of calculus, and I quite honestly tell you, in my field, I don't use any of it. But what it taught me to do is, when I can't figure out a solution, I pull it down to its bare bones. I pull it down to its parts and pieces, and then I find the resources that I need to understand those parts and pieces, and then put them all back together. So it's all about trying to become more, to be able to find those resources out there. And in this day and age, the information age and everything else, and the internet, there is no limit to the amount of resources that are out there. So you got to just find the people that are finding the success, finding the dreams that you want, and utilize the resources that are out there from those people, and put them into place, and start allocating time toward that. And trust me when I say you are qualified. You just got to overcome that thought, identify it, crush it out, and do it by getting the resources and taking the time to really put those resources into play. And that's where I'm not organized. Well, you know what? Doesn't take organization. It just takes a dedication. The people that aren't organized are people that just aren't dedicating themselves to be organized, to have a way of doing things, to having a checklist and sticking to it. And this is one of the biggest issues probably with small businesses and people going into business and themselves, is they're no longer working for a boss. They're no longer sitting in an office. I'm sitting here and I'm given a list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I got to do to get my paycheck. No, you're in the business now. This business is yours. So what's your list? What is your list? I wake up every morning, I have a list. I have things that I have to do every day. And then I have my wish list. Okay, if I get through these certain things, these are my wish lists, and I knock off one at a time. But I have those core deals, or in our business, we call them our core concepts, or core values that we stick to. I have to do these 8 things every day, because those are the ones that are going to be what I call IPAs, income producing activities. Those are the ones that are going to create the biggest reward for my time, but I have to do them each and every day. I don't go to sleep unless each one of them is done. No matter what happens, every one of them has to be done. And then I get into the extra stuff that I can do. And I don't let myself get bogged down by the things that should be done but don't actually produce any income for me. But it's all about the dedication of having that list and then sitting down every morning and saying, I'm going to do it. There's no question. This morning I wake up and I look at, I get my shower, I get ready, I get shaved, and I'm down here and I have my 8 core things, and I don't move from here until I get those 8 core things done. And then I see what extra I can do. And hey, you know what? I get those 8 core things done, I produce it. Maybe I go out and just kick the ball around with my girl, or play dress up with my younger girl. And, she's only 3. She loves to do it. But that's why I got into business, was to be able to spend more time with my family. But I have to get those 8 core things done each and every day. And I will not go to, there have been some days where, I had things going on at school in the morning with my one girl, and then I had to go have lunch with my other one, and then I had to run and do some errands, which unfortunately have to be done sometimes. And I get home and it's like, you know what? I haven't done my 8 core things. And I don't go to bed until those 8 core things are done. Okay, so it's not about being organized. It's about having the dedication, and a lot of this falls back to that dedication and commitment to identifying what has to be done every day to be able to reach for your dreams. What are the things that you have to do each and every day? Well, I got to read. I got to post my blogs. I got to create my videos. I got to send out my emails. I got to. Those are my list of things that I have to do each and every day, and that has allowed me to be able to produce the results and be able to reach for my dreams each and every day, and it has allowed me to bring the success that I have, and I guarantee it will for you too. So, and then it falls in the old thing is, I just can't change. I am who I am. You are who you are because you don't take action every day to change your situation. 90% of where you are today is because of the actions you have done or not done to get there. 10% is what the world has done. 10% is what the outside world has created for your situation today. 90% of it can be traced back to what you either have done or not done to put you where you are today. So the key is focusing again on the organization, on getting the resources, on not being held back by the thoughts and the notions of and the judgment of others, but really focusing in on what is the change that I want to make, and taking the actions. Again, falls back to what have you done today to make your future happen? Okay, and that falls each and every day. If your actions today are, I'm going to kick back and watch TV for the next 4 hours, and you know what, then I might look at the paper, and then I might, I don't know, look at the junk mail for a while, and you know what, nothing's going to change for you. Everything's going to stay the way it is today, and you're going to be cussing, and it's like, oh, I can't get to my dreams, I can't do this, it's just, this is the way I am. The way you are is because of the actions you take today. If you take out the things that aren't allowing you to grow, that aren't bringing you closer to your future, then you're going to remain where you are. But if you are dedicated, if you're committed, if you are ready to reach out for your dreams, and you start to take the actions, little actions every day, just start out little and keep building on them, and you will see the change. One of the biggest things I did was I cut out news and news shows and news radio, all that, even radio itself. And for those 30 to 60 minutes I spend in my car each and every day, I listen to audios. I listen to audio or books that were, from people, whether it's Napoleon Hill, whether it's Stephen Covey, whether it's, whoever it may be out there that is seeing results, that is seeing potential, that I see is something that I need to change, that I need to become better at. I fill those times with audio from those people. And in 90 days, it was a world of difference. One, wasn't listening to the news, so my blood pressure was a lot lower. Two, I started to realize what my dreams were and what it took for me to get there. And I started to realize it's not that far away. It's right there. And that's the thing about it is, we ask for these dreams and we want them. And you know what? They're right there. All it takes is for us to take action to get them. I hear, I pray about it every day. I dream about it every day. But and the thing about it is, that's fine. But if you're praying or dreaming or asking for the same things every day, and nothing's changing, then what actions have you taken? Because it's right there. I mean, it's right here. It is right here. All it's waiting is for you to reach out, take action, and grab a hold of it. And that's why I preach each and every day that your future is created by what you do today, not what you push off to tomorrow. But your future is created by what you do today. So are you going to take action to make your future your dreams? Or are you going to just allow the actions to create the same results that you have today? I hope that you want to do the first. I hope you want to really reach out, grab a hold of your dreams, start making the changes. In fact, I want you to comment below. I want you to tell me, what actions are you taking today to get you close to your dreams? What actions are you changing? What things are you taking out and reallocating your life? What judgments of others are you putting aside to start to take action on, to start to take learning on? What are those things that you are looking to do to create your future today? And you know what? One of the best things for me was getting into business, was to try to get into this business and really dive into it to become, my own entrepreneur, to be able to see the freedom that I saw others get, and to be able to have the time to be able to spend with my family, or to take traveling and see the world. And you know what? If that's you, take hold of it. Grab a hold of those dreams. And if you need an avenue to do it, click the link down in the description or below this video, and let's see if we can't get you down those same holes. But definitely comment below and let me know what you're changing today to be able to realize your future tomorrow.